Think about the last time you were walking through your house in the dark and a stray piece of thread or a discarded belt on the floor caught the corner of your eye. For a split second, your heart stopped. You jumped back, your muscles tensed, and your breath hitched. It was only after your conscious brain caught up, analyzing the shape and the lack of movement, that you realized it was just a belt. You felt silly, maybe even a little annoyed at your own overreaction. Now, compare that to your daily commute. You stand on a sidewalk while 2-ton machines made of steel and glass hurtle past you at 60 miles per hour, just a few feet away. You don't flinch. You don't jump. In fact, you probably look at your phone or listen to a podcast, completely indifferent to the massive kinetic energy capable of ending your life in a heartbeat. This is the great paradox of the modern human brain. Statistically, in the 24th century,
To understand our fear, we first have to understand our vision. There is a fascinating concept in evolutionary biology known as the snake detection theory. It suggests that the reason primates, and eventually humans, developed such high-quality, color-accurate 3D vision was specifically to spot snakes. For millions of years, our ancestors lived in the trees of Africa. In that environment, the most consistent, lethal threat wasn't a lion or a bear. It was a camouflaged predator that could blend perfectly into the branches and deliver a lethal dose of toxin with a single strike. When the channel explores what dumb skill made humans so dangerous, one of those skills is actually our incredible ability for pattern recognition. Our brains aren't just looking for a snake, they are looking for the suggestion of a snake. We are programmed to find scales, serpentine curves, and specific types of movement in our peripheral vision. This was a biological arms race. As snakes got better at hiding, This leads us to the concept of evolutionary lag. Evolution is an incredibly slow process, often taking tens of thousands, if not millions of years, to hardwire a survival instinct into a species. We have been co-evolving with snakes and spiders for roughly 60 million years. In contrast, the internal combustion engine has been a part of human life for about 130 years. In the grand timeline of human existence, cars are a new invention that appeared only seconds ago. Our brains are essentially running an ancient operating system on modern hardware. When you see a snake, your amygdala, the brain's ancient fear center, recognizes a biological signature that has been flagged as lethal for eons. But when you see a car, your amygdala sees a large, shiny, non-living object. It doesn't have eyes. It doesn't move like an animal. It doesn't hiss. To your ancient brain, a car is just a very fast rock. And since our ancestors didn't have to worry about fast rocks falling on them at 60 miles per hour in the Pleistocene, we never developed a reflexive flinch for them. This is the same reason why we might wonder, why can't human babies do anything? They are born with a brain designed for a world that no longer exists, a world where knowing how to cling to a mother's fur or fearing a dark cave was more important than understanding traffic.
this prehistoric survival strategy was especially vital for how ancient humans kept kids alive. In a world without hospitals or antivenom, a single spider bite could be a death sentence for a child. This created a secondary layer of protection: social priming. While humans aren't necessarily born with an innate fear of spiders, we are born with a preparedness to learn that fear instantly. Psychological studies have shown that if you show a toddler a picture of a snake and a picture of a flower, they show no fear. However, if they see their parent react with even a slight flinch to the snake, the child will develop a lifelong phobia in seconds. If the parent flinches at a flower, the child usually ignores it. Our brains are primed to accept that certain things are dangerous and others are not. Because ancient prehistoric elders actually survived by passing down these warnings, we are biologically tuned to watch for biological threats. A car doesn't trigger this social priming because, for most of our history, there were no fast metal boxes for our parents to warn us about. The persistence of these fears also ties into the smoke detector principle. Think about a smoke detector in your house. You want it to be sensitive. You would much rather have the alarm go off because you burned some toast than have it stay silent during an actual fire. Evolution applied this same logic to our threat detection. If you jump at a stick that turns out to be a stick, you've lost a tiny bit of calories and maybe felt a little embarrassed. But if you don't jump at a snake because you thought it was a stick, you're dead. This better safe than sorry mentality is the reason we still have dumb biological leftovers. It's the same reason you can't remember falling asleep, or why you can't remember your dreams. Your brain is constantly performing high-level background processing, scanning for threats even when you think you're relaxed. During the transition into sleep, your brain is at its most vulnerable, so it stays on high alert, often causing hypnic jerks, that feeling of falling that makes you jump awake. It's your internal security system checking the perimeter. We see this ancient paranoia manifest in other ways, such as why wild animals stalk us, or how ancient humans fought predators. Our ancestors were constantly on, scanning the environment for anything that broke the natural pattern. In the modern world, this manifests as anxiety. We live in the safest era of human history, yet our threat detection software is screaming at us because it can't find any snakes to worry about, so it starts worrying about work emails or social gaffes instead. Even our relationship with other species was shaped by this. Consider how ancient humans actually created dogs. We didn't just want companions, we wanted biological alarm systems. Dogs have different threat signatures than we do. They could hear and smell the predators, the snakes in the grass or the leopards in the trees, long before our visual systems could pick them up. By teaming up, we outsourced some of our flinching to another species, allowing us to focus on the dumb skills like tool making and storytelling that eventually made us the masters of the planet. As we look back at what Earth looked like to ancient humans, we see a place of constant, lurking danger. Whether it was surviving brutal winters or identifying which food was safe, every day was a high-stakes game of detect the threat. The fact that you flinch at a spider today isn't a sign of weakness. It is a direct link to a survivor who lived 50,000 years ago. It is proof that your internal security system, though outdated, is still functioning exactly as intended. You are the product of a million successful jumps. You are the descendant of the people who were too afraid to take chances with the rustle in the bushes. While the modern world has replaced snakes with cars and spiders with heart disease, our biology remains firmly planted in the Pleistocene. If you want to dive deeper into these biological mysteries and the incredible ways our ancestors navigated a world that was trying to kill them every single day, you should check out the full curriculum in my course, The Secret Lives of Ancient Humans, available at the Ancient Minds Academy. We go much further into the daily realities of prehistory, from how ancient humans treated wounds to the craziest survival methods that actually worked. Don't forget to subscribe to Explain in Paint for more deep dives into the science of being human. The next time you see a spider and feel that familiar jolt of adrenaline, take a second to thank your ancestors. They might have been afraid of their own shadow, but that's exactly why you're here today. Thanks for watching.